All of you are requested to kindly be seated. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Please switch off your cell phones during the proceedings to avoid disturbance. Further, may I request everyone to refrain from coming near the dais for taking photographs during the conferral of the diplomas. We have made adequate arrangements for the convocation photographs. Ladies and gentlemen, the academic procession will now enter the auditorium. You may please rise and remain so till all the members of the procession have taken their seats. of you are requested kindly to be seated. May I now request Chief Guest, Professor Debashis Chatterjee, IIM Kozhikode, Shri Anil Shastri, Chairman, Board of Governors, LBSIM, Members of Board of Governors, LBSIM, Professor Praveen Gupta, Director, LBSIM, Professor G.L. Sharma, Head, New Projects, and Colonel Ajay Sood, Chief Administrative Officer, to kindly light the ceremonial lamp and offer floral tribute to Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri Ji, recipient of highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna.
Now, I request everyone to rise for LBSIM anthem.
लाल बहादुर के सपनों का अनुपम अनुसंधान, शोध और शिक्षा से करते सकल विश्व निर्माण, सत्य सरल सुंदर जीवन का शिक्षा ही आधार, LBSIM करती है सतत इसे साकार, जीवन और प्रबंधन का ले करके अक्षय ज्ञान, छात्र यहाँ के नित्य बढ़ाते
everyone kindly be seated. May I now request Shri Anil Shastri, Chairman Board of Governors, LBSIM, to kindly declare the convocation open. Please, sir.
I declare the convocation open.
Thank you, sir. May I now request the invocation team for Saraswati Vandana.
हे शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। स्वर की देवी ये संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है हर गीत तुझसे। तू स्वर की देवी ये संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा हर गीत तुझसे। हम हैं अकेले, हम हैं अधूरे, तेरी शरण में हमें प्यार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
Thank you, team. May I now request Professor Praveen Gupta, Director, LBSIM, to kindly declare the welcome address and present the Institute's report. Please, sir.
Distinguished Chief Guest, Professor Debashis Chatterjee, Director IIM Kozhikode, Shri Anil Shastri, Chairman Board of Governors, LBSIM Delhi, members of the Board of Governors, members of the advisory body, distinguished guests, Mrs. Manju Shastri, media personalities, parents of the graduating students, faculty colleagues, officers, staff members, graduate students, ladies and gentlemen. I take this opportunity to welcome you all to the Convocation 2022 of Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi. All my colleagues join me in expressing the heartiest congratulations and best wishes to all the graduating students, including those in absentia, on whom the diplomas are being conferred today. It is indeed a matter of great joy to have Professor Debashis Chatterjee grace the occasion as chief guest and deliver the convocation address. It is my honor to introduce our chief guest to the august gathering. Professor Debashis Chatterjee has taught leadership classes at Harvard University, at IIM Calcutta, IIM Lucknow, and IIM Kozhikode for nearly 2 decades. And he is currently the director of Indian Institute of Management, Kozhikode. He has been awarded the prestigious Fulbright Fellowship twice for pre-doctoral and post-doctoral work at Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University. His published work includes 18 books, including the recent release Karma Sutras, Leadership and Wisdom in Uncertain Times, Leading Consciously and Timeless Leadership, that have been translated in several international languages. He has served as Director General of IIM Delhi, India's first corporate-sponsored business school, and the independent director on boards of several multinational and Indian companies. He has also served as Dean IIM Lucknow and Dean of a global business school in Singapore. He has trained and coached over 30,000 managers and 25,000 school principals, spanning an academic career of 30 years. I want to place a synopsis of multifaceted progress made and the activities undertaken by Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi, during the year 2021 and 22. The institute was established in the year 1995 to perpetuate the memory of second Prime Minister of India, Bharat Ratna Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri. In last 26 years, LBSIM has transformed into one of the top business schools in the country. It currently offers a multiple choices of PGDM programs which are AICTE approved. We have 2-year program, PGDM General, PGDM Financial Management, PGDM Research and Business Analytics. Effective 2022, we are introducing PGDM Artificial Intelligence and Data Science and PGDM e-Business. We also have a program, PGDM 24 months regular program with classes held during weekends. PGDM General has been accredited by NBA. AIU has also given MBA equivalence to the course. The 26th batch of 132 students are completing their curriculum and they will be conferred diploma today. PGDM Financial Management is also NBA accredited and AIU has also given the equivalence to this program. 55 students of 13th batch of PGDM Financial Management are completing their curriculum and they will be conferred diploma today. PGDM Research and Business Analytics was launched in 2018, and this is the program which is designed to provide students the in-depth knowledge of research and analytical techniques and tools, which is helping them in terms of applications and business decision making. 43 students of third batch of PGDM Research and Business Analytics program, they will be completing their curriculum and they will be conferred diplomas today. Prestigious Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award for Excellence this year has been conferred on Shri Dr. Randeep Guleria, Director, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi, by the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri M. Venkaiah Naidu. Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri Memorial Lecture 2022 was delivered by Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar, a humanitarian, spiritual leader and the ambassador of peace and human values. Gurudev delivered the address on the topic of spiritual values for peace and sustainability. The 27th Foundation Day was celebrated on February 23, 2022, and the chief guest was Shri Atul Sobti, Director General Scope and Member Board of Trustee, EPFO. We had excellent placement in the year 2021. The average package offered by the recruiters was 11 lakh per annum and the highest salary of rupees 25.9 lakh per annum. Finance, research and consultancy are the major recruiting sectors for this season. Prominent recruiters include Morgan Stanley, Deloitte, KPMG, EY, Grant Thornton, to name a few. LBSIM has successfully completed summer internship placements for the batch 2021-23. The highest stipend offered this year was rupees 87,000 per month by Morgan Stanley, and the average stipend offered this year was rupees 15,700 per month. The total numbers of companies participating this year was 115. And we expect a very high number of summer internships and PPOs and PPIs this year. Some of the prominent recruiters this year were Morgan Stanley, Deloitte, EY, Infosys, SBMC, DFM Foods, Indian Oil Corporation, to name a few. We conducted a number of management development programs during the year. 4 days executive program was completed for buyers team of Messrs. Denso International Private Limited in the month of October. We have conducted a management program on contract management for Northeast Transmission Company on January 5th, 2022. LBSIM is conducting a 3-day management program for the senior executives of Troops Comforts Limited. TCL is a Government of India company under the Ministry of Defense, and this training program is on financial reporting, analysis, and governance, and it will be attended by CNMD, board members, and some of the senior members of TCL. We are proud to share with you the Institute organized a 10-day IT training program for the officials of Republic of Uzbekistan in the month of February. The program was attended by some of the senior officials from Uzbekistan working in different government departments. And this program included some of the essentials of Python, data analytics, Excel, data modeling and visualization, and big data ecosystem. Research and consultancy, we are moving ahead with time. In 2021 and 22, our institute faculty have published 41 research papers in international and national journals of repute, 10 books, 1 chapter in edited books. 10 research papers were presented in national and international conferences, seminars. 3 articles have been published in newspapers. LBSIM and Indian Cellular Electronic Association have completed 2 research programs. One is called Bridging Digital Divide, which is covering the understanding of digital divide in 3 sectors: agriculture, healthcare, and education. The second project, which is being taken now, is on Indian electronic toys, the current landscape and the future potential. LBSIM has been awarded a funded research project by National Human Rights Commission to study the human rights ethos in Indian scriptures and contemporary culture. We have conducted a number of conferences. National HR Conference 2021 on the theme of innovative HR practices, navigating the future business landscape, was organized in October 2021. Another program, Accelerating Innovation and Growth with AI, was organized in the month of November. The topic is a contemporary topic in the area of artificial intelligence. We have also organized an international seminar on big data analytics for Industry 4.0, application and challenges, in the month of December. National Marketing Conference was organized on February 26. The title was Unwind the Bind, New Marketing Realities in Post-Pandemic World. International Research Conference was organized on 26th of March 2022 on the theme Creating a Better Future, Mindful and Innovative Practices in Sustainability. And we are proud to share with you the chief guest of the event was none other than Professor Debashis Chatterjee, Director, IIM Kozhikode, and the guest of honor was Professor Mary Gentile. National Finance Conference titled Challenges and Trends in FinTech Industry was organized in the month of April 2022. The annual management and cultural fest Tatva was organized on 11th and 12th of March. Mr. Shubhendra Rao, the renowned sitar player and composer, graced the inaugural session as chief guest. Srimati Saskia Rao was the guest of honor. There are multiple student bodies in the institute, like Management Grid, IT Grid, and more than 15 clubs which are engaged in management and cultural areas. The Alumni Club of Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management has organized TEDx on November 20th. The theme was Invert the Hourglass. Alumni Cell has also organized the Grand Alumni Meet on April 1st, 2022 at India Habitat Center. During 2021 and 22, despite the challenges of pandemic, the institute and the students reflected grit and resilience by carrying out rural immersion program and outbound leadership program in consultation with Tata Adventure Foundation. Both the programs were for 8 days. We are also determined to make our first hostel for girls operational by the year 2023. In 2021, the year has been extremely productive for all stakeholders, and the institute has elevated its position to new heights. We wish that the continued support and guidance of our chairman, Shri Anil Shastri, members of the Board of Governors, advisory body, faculty staff, students, and institute will elevate itself further to the global standards. We wish all the success to all our passing out students today to make their dream come true in different walks of life. We are sure that the Shastrian values would help them in becoming leaders in all walks of life and contribute to the development of society and the nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now request Shri Anil Shastri, Chairman Board of Governors, LBSIM, to kindly deliver his address. Please, sir.
Professor Debashis Chatterjee, Mr. Adarsh Shastri, Dr. Praveen Gupta, Dr. G.L. Sharma, Chief Administrative Officer Colonel Ajay Sood, Mr. Sanjay Nath Singh, all faculty of Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, non-teaching staff, and students who are awaiting in this auditorium to receive their PGDM diplomas in a short while from now, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, let me mention a very little conversation that I was having with Dr. Debashis Chatterjee. When the Saraswati Vandana was being sung, Debashis ji asked me, there is somebody really singing or it's a record? So I said, no, it's not virtual, neither is the record. So two of our students they're singing physically. So it started off our conversation with compliments to these two students and my compliments as well. You sang beautifully and very much in sur, and you must be great singers, I'm pretty sure. I'm happy that Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi, is holding the 25th annual convocation today. It's a matter of pleasure that Dr. Debashis Chatterjee, Director of IIM Kozhikode, is with us this evening as the chief guest and will deliver the convocation address. I had the opportunity of listening to him virtually though at the international conference which was organized by the Institute on 26 March. And then, of course, he also visited the RK Puram campus before 2010 And so his association with the institute has been there for years, and I do hope that his support in the form of guidance and advice would continue to be with us in the times to come. Another occasion I got the opportunity of meeting Dr. Debashis Chatterjee was in a hotel in Cochin. Some years ago, about 3-4 years ago, I happened to be there, I was staying there, he was transiting. And then we ran into each other at the buffet breakfast table in the morning. And of course, that was for a short while. I wish to congratulate all those students who have assembled here to receive their diplomas in postgraduate program in management. They have successfully completed their 2-year program at the institute, and I wish them well. It is, of course, unfortunate that those receiving the diplomas today had to pursue their studies and attend their classes virtually due to the COVID situation. Off and on, the classes were conducted in hybrid mode, but I've always believed, and I'm sure that most of you also would, that there is no substitute to physical classroom teaching. And I do hope that in the times to come, things would improve and we will continue with physical classroom teaching. I must also mention that the institute managed and handled the pandemic situation exceedingly well. And this is not that I'm saying, a number of people that I met over the last 2 years also talked about it, and they really appreciated the efforts of the institute to handle this difficult situation. I would also like to compliment the faculty and the staff of the institute for having coped with this difficult situation during the last 2 years. I'm sure good times are ahead. Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, as the director just mentioned, has completed 27 years of its existence and is rated among the top business schools in the country. The credit for this goes to the faculty, staff, and of course the students. I have also been in touch with members of the Board of Governors on a continuous basis and also members of the advisory body, and their inputs, whether academic or administration, have been very useful and beneficial to the institute, as we could incorporate those inputs for in academic and administrative management of the institute. Today was also the board meeting at 3 p.m. and I am happy to inform you that besides several decisions taken, one decision which was taken was that we have an invitation from Mr. Kamal Java, who is the chairman and managing director of DICON, that he's invited our director and some faculty members to Nimrana in Rajasthan, where they have got their works there, and particularly the artificial intelligence that they've applied there, the application of artificial intelligence at the Nimrana Center. And this is, I think, on the 5th or 6th, and director, I'm sure, will get in touch with the consult faculty to make a visit. And little later, of course, I told him that so much good things I'm hearing about this Nimrana that I would also like to visit, which I will do. And the second decision, of course, which was earlier already decided, that we need to strengthen the alumni foundation. Our interaction and contact with the alumni is going to be much greater in the times to come than what it has been until now. Of course, we hold one alumni dinner once in a year, but it was decided in the board meeting that it should be a little more often. May not be all the passed out students who are holding high positions, but at the same time, what we could do is that we could have smaller groups meeting at least 4 times in a year. And director has made a note of it, and we are going to implement this immediately. So these were 2 points which were taken. I thought that I must share these with you. And I would also like to mention that very recently on 14th April 2022, I was present at the inauguration of the new Prime Minister's Museum in New Delhi. It was heartening to go through political, social and economic history of India during 75 years of India's independence. The museum takes you through the life and times of former Prime Ministers of India. And I was proud to go to the gallery of Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri, which exhibits his simplicity and honesty and his dedication and commitment to the country. His slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, is very prominently displayed, symbolizing self-reliance. Shastri believed that India would gain respect across the globe only if it was self-reliant in defense and agriculture, and that's how the slogan Jai Jawan came, which is relevant even today and still resonates across the length and breadth of our nation. The museum depicts the initiatives taken by Shastri towards the green and white revolutions. And it was in the year 1965 when he was the Prime Minister that he visited Amul in Anand, of which Dr. Verghese Kurian was the chairman. And Shastri suggested to him that, Dr. Kurian, I would like you to replicate this in other parts of the country as well. And he readily agreed, and National Dairy Development Board was constituted by Prime Minister Shastri immediately. Of course, one condition of Dr. Kurian was that if he wanted him to be the chairman of NDDB, the headquarters should be in Anand and not in Delhi. And Shastri asked him, why Anand, why not in Delhi? He said that people in Delhi don't, particularly meant the government bureaucrats, they don't work as much as I would expect people to do it in Anand. I would suggest to all those who are present here, particularly the students, that they must go and see the museum as and when they get an opportunity. It's a high-tech museum, and a visitor could even take a selfie with any of the prime ministers, and could also walk by his side, and pictures can be taken. India is a great nation, and we all are fortunate for having been born here. I ask the passing out students to endeavor doing proud to their parents, their teachers, and their country. In a few years from now, you will be holding high positions in the corporate world and will get ample opportunities to serve the nation through your respective organizations. As I said, India is a great nation. And this is not only what we are recognizing, it is being recognized in various parts of the world. And whether it's the Soviet Union, the United States of America, or China or Japan, they are all eager and keen to add on to the investments in this country, where they see the potential here. And let me also tell you that the political and business leaders that we have produced are not to be seen as frequently in other parts of the country. And that's why I said that we should be proud that we belong to a country where there are ample opportunities for those who are qualified, who are hardworking, and who are competent. To conclude, I would once again express my pleasure over the successful conduct of the convocation function. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now request Dr. Smita Sharma, Chairperson, PGDM Program, to kindly take over the proceedings of the House. Please, ma'am.
All candidates for the 2-year full-time postgraduate diploma in management general batch 2020 2022, please rise. Mr. Chairman, I present Utkarsh Agrawal and all other students, including those in absentia, who have satisfactorily fulfilled all the requirements for the award of the Postgraduate Diploma in Management General and request that the diplomas be conferred on them.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi, I confer on you the Postgraduate Diploma in Management General and charge you that in your life, by word and deed, you prove yourselves worthy of it.
Graduating students of PGDM General may take their seats. All candidates for Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Financial Management, Batch 2020-22, please rise. Mr. Chairman, I present Khushbu Mehta and all other students, including those in absentia, who have satisfactorily fulfilled all the requirements of the Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Financial Management, and request that the diplomas be conferred on them.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi, I confer on you Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Financial Management, and charge you that in your life, by word and deed, you prove yourselves worthy of it.
Graduating students of the PGDM Financial Management may take their seats. All candidates for the Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Research and Business Analytics, Batch 2020-22 may rise. Mr. Chairman, I present Kritika Sharma and all other students, including those in absentia, who have satisfactorily fulfilled all the requirements for the award of the Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Research and Business Analytics, and request that the diplomas be conferred on them.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi, I confer on you the Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Research and Business Analytics, and charge you that in your life, by word and deed, you prove yourselves worthy of it.
All graduating students of PGDM, Research and Business Analytics may take their seats. All candidates for the Postgraduate Diploma in Management Part-Time, Batch 2019-2022, please rise. Mr. Chairman, I present Pankaj Kumar Singh and all other students, including those in absentia, who have satisfactorily fulfilled all the requirements for the award of the Postgraduate Diploma in Management Part-Time and request that the diplomas be conferred on them.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Technology and Management, I confer in you Postgraduate Diploma in Management Executive and charge you that in your life, by word and deed, you prove yourself worthy of it. ये कैसे होगा? तो हो गया.
All graduating students of Postgraduate Diploma in Management Part-Time may take their seats. All candidates for Postgraduate Diploma in Management Executive, Batch 2020-21, please rise. Mr. Chairman, I present Himanshu Mishra and all other students, including those in absentia, who have satisfactorily fulfilled all the requirements for the award of Postgraduate Diploma in Management Executive and request that the diplomas be conferred on them.
By authority vested in me by the Board of Governors, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi, I confer in you Postgraduate Diploma in Management Executive and charge you that in your life, by word and deed, you prove yourselves worthy of it.
Graduating students of the PGDM Executive may take their seats. All graduating students, please rise to take the pledge together. I do hereby solemnly pledge that I shall in thought, word, and deed endeavor to be worthy of the postgraduate diploma conferred on me by the Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi. All graduating students may now take their seats. All graduating students will now receive their diplomas. May I request our chairman to do the honors. Isha Arora, Gaurav Kumar Karan, request all other students and the audience to Anusha Agarwal, Siddhant Agarwal, Abhinav Trip, Siddhant Agarwal, Abhinav Tripathi, Soumya Kaushik, Shashwat Dubey, Aman Agarwal, Sneh Juyal, Shavak Gogia, Shubham Singh, Ronak Lakhotia, Kajol Nigam, Ananya Pandey, Ashish Matta, Sachin Rajput, Vaibhav, Vivek Rajgupta, Saransh Kumar Tiwari, Divya Gupta. Swikriti Seth. Utkarsh Bansal. Rohan Verma. Yamini Yadav. Vinayak. Prajesh Mehta. Prajesh Mehta. Arushi Sharma. Anshul Thakral. Anshu Sethi. Rajat Srivastav. Yashovardhan Sharma. Ayush Tripathi. Shriya Parimu. Arpit Bharadwaj. Prashu Dhamija. Dakshina Jha. Agam Jain. Agam Jain. Sagar Sindhu Roy. Yash Garg. Kanak Garg. Shiali Sharma. Bridul Gautam. Bhaskar Tripathi. Vipul Anand. Bhaskar. Vipul Anand. Hardik Jain, Parth Gupta, Sneha Gupta, Omkar, Yash Gupta, Akriti Jain, Saurabh Chillar, Kanav Malhotra, Anuj Verma, Harshvardhan Meena, Shivani Agarwal, Rushil Malhotra, Rahul Seth, Aparna Gupta, Krishna Arora, Shivam Bajaj, Sonal Agarwal, Savleen Kaur, Nishit Manasvi, Lalit Sharma, Pooja Jakhad, Prakhar Saxena, K.S. Shankar, Ishit, Abhijit Jain, Sparsh Mehra, Nikhil Handuja, Shubham Singh, Disha Sukhija, Achirab Sekya, Tarun Goyal, Neelansh Gupta, Mehak Chaudhary, उत्कर्ष अग्रवाल, उत्कर्ष अग्रवाल, सोपान गोयल, चारू आनंद, अमोघ झम, अमन नसाती, करण भट्ट, आदित्य सोपती, नेहा सिंह, राघव बंसल, प्रतीक गुप्ता, स्कंद दत्त, दिव्यांश श्रीवास्तव, प्रसन्नजीत दास, अमितोज सिंह, आयुषी शर्मा, दीपांश जैन, साहिल नारंग, वैभव शर्मा, समीप मिश्रा, खुशबू मेहता, खुशबू मेहता, दृष्टि राव, अंशिका अग्रवाल, खुशबू मेहता, अंशिका अग्रवाल, सृष्टि गुप्ता, अक्षिता, आंचल चोपड़ा, सलोनी शर्मा, हिमानी गर्ग, ऋषभ मल्होत्रा, लोकेंद्र दुबे, यशवर्धन जगदीश केसवानी, राहुल दत्त, संस्कार रत्नावत, अचल जैन, अक्षत मदान, अमल नीमा, सायन दास, पंकुश, शुभम सरावगी, अर्पित सलूजा, सिद्धांत पेदी, रोहन चंदा, अभिषेक शर्मा, चिराग सिंगला, संचित मनोचा, सागर कटारिया, सार्थक शर्मा, अंकित कुमार, अखिल सजनानी, अर्नव पाल, रिदम गोयल, भव्य जैन, केशव, अनुभा जैन, राधिका गर्ग, हिमांशु टंडन, कुशाग्र भटनागर, सूर्या, कृतिका शर्मा, हर्ष, कृतिका शर्मा, अर्पित गुप्ता, अभिमन्यु, रिया अग्रवाल, कार्तिक ककानी, सृष्टि सरकार, विश्वरूप चौधरी, वैभव बेरी, कनिष्क मित्तल, अर्शप्रीत, Rishabh Mukherjee, Harsh, Chirag Bansal, Himangi Chauhan, Kapil Narula, Nikhil Sahejwani, Mohit Malik, Priyanshi Agarwal, Ritika Sharma, Siddharth Dutt, Vanshika Madan, Vansh Behel, Amrita Gaurav, Shreya, Shubham Maheshwari, Soumya Jain, Meha Srivastav, Chandrika Sood, Lieutenant Colonel Rohit Gaur, Himanshu Mishra, Disha Avtani, Piyush Galhotra, Neeraj Gupta, Ansh Jain, Rupali Tiwari, Naveed Pal, Group Captain Simranpal Singh Birdi, Sanjeev Ahuja, Naveed Pal, Thank you so much, sir. I now request Colonel Ajay Sood, Chief Administrative Officer, to offer the register for signature of the chairman.
ठीक है मैम, इसका नाम क्या है? गोल्ड मेडल फॉर सेकंड फर्स्ट रैंक, आई थिंक विषय मुखर्जी में. ठीक है मैम. Thank you so much, sir. May I now request Professor Praveen Gupta, Director LBSIM, to announce the awards. Please, sir.
I now present the candidates for the award of medals which they received for their scholastic performance. I request our chief guest, Professor Debashis Chatterjee, to do the honors. Gold medal for securing first rank in PGDM General 2020-2022, Utkarsh Agrawal. Sir, for the question. Gold medal for securing first rank in PGDM Financial Management 2020-22, Khushbu Mehta. Gold medal for securing first rank in PGDM Research and Business Analytics 2020-22, Kritika Sharma. Gold medal for securing first rank in PGDM part-time 2019-2022, Pankaj Kumar Singh. Absent. Pankaj is absent. Gold medal for securing first rank in PGDM Executive 2020-21, Himanshu Mishra. Lalita Shastri Medal for overall performance in postgraduate diploma in management 2020-22, Shiali Sharma. Amit Chopra Medal for Social Service and Extracurricular Activities in Postgraduate Diploma in Management 2020-22, Ankit Kumar. Now, we would like to announce the awards for Best Summer Training and End-Term Projects. Award for Best Summer Training Project for Postgraduate Diploma in General 2020-22, Yash Gupta. Award for Best Summer Training Project in Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Financial Management 2020-22, Srishti Gupta. Award for Best Summer Training Project in Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Research and Business Analytics 2020-22, Rishabh Mukherjee. Absent. Award for Best End-Term Project in Postgraduate Diploma in Management General 2020-22, Shiali Sharma. Award for Best End-Term Project in Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Financial Management 2020-22, Arnav Pal. Award for Best End-Term Project in Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Research and Business Analytics 2020-22, Radhika Garg. Award for Best End-Term Project in Postgraduate Diploma in Management Part-Time 2019-2022, Naveed Pal. Award for Best End-Term Project in Postgraduate Diploma in Management Executive 2020-21, Himanshu Mishra. I would now request Chief Guest, Professor Debashis Chatterjee, to kindly deliver the convocation address.
So, there you are. Sure. For many of us in this hall, this must be a very special evening. This is an evening of promises fulfilled, an evening of enchantment, an evening where anything can happen, almost everything is possible. Yes or no? Yes. Mr. Anil Shastri, Chairman, LBISM, Professor Praveen Gupta, Director, Ms. Adarsh Shastri, Distinguished Member of the Board of Governors, Professor G.L. Sharma, Head of Projects, members of the very distinguished faculty seated right in front of me, and students of LBISM, and I believe some of your parents sitting behind and some seeing this in absentia. May I request you to please stand up for your parents and applaud as loudly as you possibly can. This goes to your parents. Thank you so much. Really appreciate this. Should be louder. Thank you. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. I share your pride in graduating from one of the foremost institutes of management named after the iconic Prime Minister of India who embodied transparency, probity, humility, and values-based leadership in public life. To those of you who got the gold medals, some of them I gave away, hearty congratulations. Big applause for them. Those who missed the gold medals by a whisker, life has more interesting things in store for you. Please applaud them a little louder. Thank you. And also for those at the bottom of the academic pyramid, well, I haven't said anything yet. Here is what I would say. You still can be the President of India. Thank you. Thank you. Now, if you look to your left and right, and I want you to do that, if you look to your left and right, you will see a rich cohort of your own friends from many brands that operate in India. They are not just your friends, but you're also your teachers and ambassadors in the larger classroom of life. Today, it is foolish to ask you what you want to be. For a 25 years old, you already have answer to that question, what you want to be, but what you might be, you don't yet know. So this is the question that I have always had for myself. And I would say that you can figure out what you want to be with what my great poet, my favorite poet, Tagore once described as stolen knowledge. Now I'll tell you what that is. Tagore was Asia's first Nobel laureate winner. And his notion of stolen knowledge is loosely referred to as peripheral learning. This is learning that is not based on intended formal instructions, but rather on social and professional interactions, be it with teachers, peers, or others. A story to illustrate this point is once Tagore was actually walking in rural Bengal, and there was a British visitor of his walking alongside him. Tagore stopped his visitor on the tracks and said, "Wait a minute, I want to listen to the song that's being sung." The British said, "No, it's not particularly sung well. It's a crude voice, not very musical. Besides, I can see a farmer singing the song." Tagore says, "Yeah, the thing is that I composed it, and I'm surprised. I want to hear how the farmer sings it. Because I realized today that despite all my talent for poetry, what the country will remember is not my poems, but my songs. And today we will sing the song that the farmer was singing that day." This is called the national anthem of India. Even Tagore had no clue until he interacted with the farmer. My poems may not be read, my songs will be sung. The song that the farmer was singing is the song that Tagore identified as his path to the future. As you can imagine, that human beings are the only species that learns from others and grows exponentially. You can grow exponentially not so much on the strength of your skills, but on the wings of values, not just through expertise, but through what I would describe as flexpertise. Flexpertise is flexibility plus expertise. I'll give you a couple of examples. Look at this guy who is shining your shoes in the Ahmedabad railway station. While he shines your shoes, he carries a copy of the English edition of Times of India, and you wonder, somebody who knows how to read and write English, or maybe read English, why is he shining shoes in India? So you cozy up to him and said, "Do you read English?" He says, "No, I don't." "But why do you carry this copy of Times of India?" He says, "The guy whose shoe I'm shining gets bored, so I must somehow help him out. So I give it to him, so he reads the book and doesn't get bored, and I do my job, and I get a good tip as a result." Now you understand this is flexpertise. I'll give you another example. This is a teacher in Kerala who's teaching kindergarten kids how to draw the national flag. And a kid is a little worried because he doesn't remember the sequence of colors of the national flag. He doesn't remember whether saffron is at the top or green is at the top. The teacher says, "You're from Kerala?" "Yeah." "Does your mother serve you some sambar rice on a banana leaf?" "Yes." "First, what comes down first?" "The banana leaf. Green in color, and then the rice, and then the dal on top of it. So saffron is at the top, white in the middle, green at the bottom." This is flexpertise. This is flexpertise. This is the practice of flexpertise. When karma is added to yoga, you get karma yoga. Yoga becomes work, your yoga becomes your work becomes your worship, and your expertise becomes expertise. That's exactly what the world values you for. Not what you know, but how useful you are, how relevant you are to your world. And when you learn in the lap of nature or from the app of technology, your learning will find its fullest expression when you learn to serve. The MBA you earn here is not just a diploma or a degree or a medal. It is a social contract and a national duty. It calls you to devote your talents and energies to building a critical sector of the nation. The greatest Indian story, in fact, the great Indian story, as a leading nation of the world is emerging very fast. In IIM Kozhikode, we had evolved a vision called 2047. You'll be happy to know that the Prime Minister of the country has asked 8 of his ministries now to create a vision for 2047, and it's going to become a national agenda very soon. And you would wonder, why 2047? What kind of inflection point is that? And this is an idea that can become a leading idea, sometimes through aspiration, sometimes through desperation. If you look at your own country, you'll still see 2 Indias. The India of a few 300 million odd people, per capita income equal to Western Europe. The India I come from in Kerala almost looks like Western Europe. But there's another India of sub-Saharan Africa, as Amartya Sen famously called it, where the picture of aspiration plus desperation is completed. But the Indian story is also changing from there. It's not the story that's still fully as I've described to you. Think of this American cab driver who picks me up at the Logan Airport in Boston, and he will drive me to Newton. My cousin who was supposed to come and receive me hasn't shown up. And the cab driver is a African American, and he drives me from East Africa. He drives me in this taxi, and as we go along, he says, "You guys are you from India?" I said, "Yeah, of course." "Are you from the IT area?" I said, "Yeah, thereabouts." I didn't want to disappoint him. And then he says, "You guys are doing really well these days." I said, "How do you know?" He said, "You tip well." I said, "That's interesting." So when I landed in Newton, the meter showed $34 US. I gave him a $50 bill. And I said, "Please keep the change," as he was about to return it to me. Not that I could afford that kind of a tip, but when I went home, my cousin told me, "Well, I'll reimburse your taxi fare. How much was it?" I said, "I gave him $50, but it's usually 35. I said, "Yeah, that is what the meter said, but I gave him because he said so." He said, "He conned you into tipping." I said, "I don't know what his motives were. I'm not very sure of his motives, but I'm sure of one thing. The India story gets better from here." And the most powerful instrument of change is not technology. The most powerful instrument of change is not how much GDP you have. The most powerful instrument of change is creating a credible story, a cognitive map, as it were, that shifts perceptions about our nation. You can shift perceptions by creating value about your country wherever you go. Think of what's happening today in terms of the cognitive map of India. India has the largest number of WhatsApp users, currently a little less than 500 million. 4 times the number of users in Brazil, which is number 2 in the world. Now imagine 1 billion messages sent through WhatsApp through Indians alone within the geographical boundaries of India. Starts with a very optimistic view of the country. That will create a new Indian story. And so fundamentally, the story that you inherited from our great pioneers can be embellished by something that you create. The future is not sitting there like a duck to be hit. Future you have to create. And these stories can be created first when you first cognitively shape India as a country of the future, as a country to be reckoned with. In 2047, we become the number 1 economy of the world, purchasing power parity-wise. The most populous country in the world, the most innovative country in the world, the most technologically savvy country in the world. What would prevent us from being the greatest power on earth as a nation? So I would like you to think through that. Management is actually about creating value. The cost of bringing people and resources together must be less than the benefit that you give to your people. And so you have to create value before you claim it. You don't receive respect, you have to earn it. You aren't given an opportunity, you have to fight and struggle for it. You form the talent engine that India's story is depending on. You are born to fly. You can fly. You will fly. These are the words of Abdul Kalam, in case you thought they were mine. They were not. With the world getting more complex, authority, positions, and expertise alone will not work. By now, you would have got plenty of advice on how to succeed. Let me bring something to you from the University of Unsolicited Advice, UVA. You can call them the NPAs, or non-performing assumptions of success from the corporate world. First, bad advice. You'll hear that everywhere. Follow your passion. Why it is not a good advice? If you followed your passion, you might end up in kingfishing in the airlines industry. You may fall in the mud with a thud if you follow that advice. Why? If you followed your passion, you might end up this way. Why would you do that? Instead of following your primary productive system, which when mastered, what you are interested in is your primary productive system. And embellishing what you're interested in with diligent work, passion will follow you like shadow follows light. Your primary productive system are 4 elements of your personality: your rationality, your emotional competence, your willpower, your ingenuity. These are the 4 dimensions of, and passion does not lead to mastery. Mastery of these 4 elements leads to passion. Take care of 2 very productive people. Just think of these 2 very productive people in the history of our civilization. One is Charles Darwin, the other one is Charles Dickens. They worked for no more than 4 hours of focused work without distraction. At a stretch. Bismillah Khan on the Ghats of Benares. 8 hours of riyaz. Sachin Tendulkar on the cricket field. Mr. Bachchan on celluloid. What you see is mastery at work, not passion. Have an appointment with yourself. I remember a Harvard student, I was teaching at the Kennedy School of Government, and this guy is waiting for a bus at the bus stop, and he looks at his watch 15 times in a 15 seconds wait. So I'm asking those guys who are chatting away at the back rows right there, if you can't have an appointment with yourself for 15 seconds, what kind of a person have you been? Who will date you? Who will have an appointment with you? And so just think of this. Just think of this. We are looking at theories. We are looking at the second bad advice. The second bad advice is theories don't matter. Most professors get very disheartened when they look at theories don't matter. Theories are not guesses. More powerful than law are theories. Good theories are born not out of correlation but of causality. Birds have feathers, birds fly. If I have feathers, I'll fly. That is correlation. If I apply Bernoulli's theory to airlift, I will fly. That is causality. Law describes what happens. Theory describes why it happens. You can't say, I will learn about marriage by marrying multiple times because I don't really have a theory about marriage. Or I'll have as many children as possible and figure out how to have children. That's not possible either. So you must have a guiding theory. Theory rests on rigor and revision of many years. Theory is more powerful than law. A theory is like working hypothesis in your head. You have to have a theory of working hypothesis or a working hypothesis for a life partner. You cannot find that by practice. Examine and refine your theories in the light of evidences, not by what people say. Every leader worth his salt has a theory of life. Gandhi had a theory called truth and nonviolence. He thought and he realized, he said, truth was my God, nonviolence is the way to get there. Disney had a theory and it was about the pursuit of happiness. Do not rely too much on your senses because there is a world beyond your 5 senses. There are 20 different senses beyond seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. There's a sense of balance, there's a sense of time, which is called chronoception, by the way. The most important is, of course, common sense, which matters in business, and your 6th sense, which is sometimes referred to as a common sense. What is going to make you worthy of success? Meditate on the pain points of your customers or your colleagues that you see around you. See how you can alleviate some of the pain for the rest of the day. I remember Shastri would ask the nation to fast, skip 1 meal. I mean, he is not an icon for nothing. He would actually deliver a value, but he experimented this at his home first to see how his own children would fare, skipping a meal, before he made it into a national agenda. So the point I'm trying to make is that success in your professional space is not necessarily based on frameworks and toolkits, but on the choices that you will make in your life. Your choices will tell you far more about who you are than your abilities. You will discover that the 14 inches from the head to the heart is the longest journey. Do not always equate time with money. If you are a good man, you will make enough money to get by. But if you make a lot of money, there is no guarantee that you are a good man or a woman. Follow your compass, not your clock. Do not stand up for something. If you do not stand up for something, you will not end up. You will end up falling for everything. Dare to raise your voice in dissent against corruption, entrenched inefficiencies, and vested interests. Progress comes from innovation as well as destruction of the old. Do not be afraid to hold divergent, even dissenting views for the sake of truth. You are tireless, you are ambitious, you are a fierce fighting force, you are idealists in the truest sense, you are the embodiment of aspiration. Think of the big picture. Think of the Visa founder who looked at money and said, money is human energy impulses. Money is not currency notes. Human energy impulses that can be printed on a plastic card or a piece of paper. And those impulses could travel from one continent to another, provided there are two things behind the transmission process. One is value, the other is trust. Think of a cup of tea, if you want to know about the big picture. When you look at a cup of tea, it's not tea that you drink. It is photons of light falling on green leaf, turning it brown. And you boil that leaf, and you have a brown liquid called chai. But you're not happy with that. So you add a dash of white fluid that a black cow eating green grass has produced. You call it milk. And then, if you're not happy with that, you put the sap of the earth that you lift through a pump called sugar cane, and the crystallized versions of the sap is what you call sugar crystals, you put in that. And when you stir the cup of tea, you're stirring the panchabhutas, the elements of the earth. You're essentially causing a cosmic revolution inside a cup. Now, if you're a good businessman, you will look at the 5,000 test buds people have in different parts of India. Kashmiri Kara chai is different from cutting chai in Mumbai, different from the way Kerala, Malayalis eat chai, or Bengalis drink their chai. And you'll see all of a sudden that what you call tea is essentially nothing but a compound of various elements. And the world that we are seeing here through the world of analytics, the world of big data is not as though data has gotten bigger, it's just that your perception has gotten better. So please understand the world that is changing around us is essentially about enlarged perception. I urge you to flame out. I'll be a little longer, just a couple of minutes before I finish my time, so just bear with me a little longer. I urge you to flame out rather than rust out. Please do not believe, as I've always done, that nothing inside you matters. Actually, the fire inside you matters. It's called the Agnipath. Of all the elements, of the Indian rishis worshipped the fire very diligently. They knew that fire in the belly, Jatar Agni, gets you out to work. Fire in the heart inspires you and makes you fall in love. Fire in the head ignites your intellect, and fire behind you cures your constitutional laziness. Like our rishis did, I believe that fire would be discovered once again in the history of human civilization. In fact, it will be discovered time and again. Only this time, the spark will come from within some of you at some place. I wish to end this by telling you the story of a young man who was trying to get admission to an English medium school. Please listen to this story, it might make sense. His father was not able to afford the education of two of his kids to the same school because the fees in the English medium school was 47 rupees, 50 paisa. Whereas the corporation school, the town school, the fee was 1 rupee 75 paisa. So automatically the elder son went there, the younger one went to the English medium school. So elder son, jealous of his brother, said to his father that I also want to go to that school. The father said, okay. He mortgaged his only house and he sent this elder son for admission to the school exam. And the admission test was about a bunch of spellings. And this guy failed all the 100 spellings that were given to him by an Anglo-Indian teacher. He couldn't make any sense of the spellings, right? And so the headmaster of the school said he should come back next year, prepared a little better for the exam. So his father said, he's an intelligent boy, give him another chance, give him just a month. So the headmaster's kindness allowed the father 1 month's time, and the father went to the tuition teacher, who was the husband of the English teacher of this school called St. Xavier School. And the tuition teacher said, I'll get him ready, but he must be tested here first. If he's too raw, I can't do anything about him. So he said, okay, my boy, can you, he had a bunch of other boys there. He said, my boy, can you tell us what is the spelling of circus? And there were others who could not spell it, but this kid said circus was C-I-R-C-U-S. And the tuition teacher said, look, he comes from a 1 rupee 75 paisa school, he can spell circus. You guys are already learning English and you don't know how to spell circus right. This guy thought, well, I am very happy that he says, and then the tuition teacher said, he'll go very far because of his eagerness to learn. The guy thought, I am not that intelligent, not that I'm better than these guys, except that Gemini Circus had come to town. And the word circus was written down very, very visually inside the mouth of a hippopotamus. And so he could visualize the word that he had seen. And he reproduced that visually. But then the journey began, and he started taking the English language seriously. He learned. He wrote 17 books in the language, became one of the youngest director of an IIM, and continued to be so for a long time. I wonder where he got this inspiration from. So fundamentally, what I wanted to say, if he could do it, so could any one of you. We've got a much better start in life. If he could do that, so could any one of you. Listen finally to my favorite poet, Rumi. Every word is precious, so please listen with some attention. Don't you know yet? It is your light that lights the world. Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. Don't be satisfied with stories or how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth. Don't grieve. Anything you lose comes around in another form. You were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life? Raise your words, not your voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder. Silence is the language of gods. All else is poor translation. Yesterday, while I was sitting there, yesterday I was clever. Yesterday, sitting there, I was clever. So I wanted to change the world. Today I'm wise. So I'm changing myself. These are the words for your tomorrow. But for tonight, party hard and celebrate your well-earned success. Jai Hind. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your wonderful insights. May I now request Director Praveen Gupta to present a memento to the Chief Guest, Professor Debashis Chatterjee, as a token of regard. Thank you, sir. May I now request the Chairman Board of Governors, LBSIM, Shri Anil Shastri, to kindly declare the convocation closed.
I declare the convocation closed.
Thank you, sir. Now I request everyone to rise for National Anthem.
पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा
everyone please be seated? The academic procession will now leave the auditorium for the convocation photograph. You may please rise and remain so till all the members of the procession have left the hall. Everyone, please be seated. The photo session would take place in groups as per PGDM sections A, B, C, D and E, followed by PGDM part-time and PGDM executive. All the guests and students are requested to kindly join us for dinner. Section A, please be ready. I request all the students of PGDM Section A
Check. I request all the students of PGDM Section A to kindly assemble at the amphitheatre. Other groups are requested to remain seated.
शुभांगी